The latest. Thank you for love and support. I appreciate you all. Those who are liking, sharing, commenting, I say thank you. Those who are sending me super thanks to support my channel, I say thank you as well. And those who are asking how you can donate, support what I am doing, please, you can send me a super thanks. But very soon I'll open my membership so that those of you who want to join to support what I am doing can equally join. We know that the Pope is no more and they are looking for a successor, and people are pointing fingers at a black man who could be the potential Pope, even though we are aware that these people do not want to be led by anybody outside of their skin, especially when it comes to the dark skin. And anytime they allow us or give us a good position, then there is an agenda for us to come and fulfill. According to Cardinal, there are a lot of darkness, lot of secrecy, lots of plans and plots that these people are bringing to the world. That because of the desire for immense wealth that Europe and America do not have, the two have teamed together. And they have brought a lot of plagues just to benefit themselves. They do not care what is happening to humanity. All that matters to them is how they are going to make this money, how the money will keep coming. That is the only thing that is important to them. As African leaders are so scared, even though some of them know what these people are doing, to come out and voice out. All these plagues, COVID-19, whatever that we are seeing, these are all things that they have designed. The wars that we are seeing are brought by these people. The terrorist activities and whatsoever we are seeing, these are all plotted by these people. They are the ones that are making sure that the world will never know peace for their own gain.
Uses weapons of mass destruction, invades and conquers countries, solely or almost solely to amass and accumulate material, wealth, and to establish his authority and hegemony. With the fine and noble reason of forcibly installing democracy everywhere and bringing peace and freedom, Europe and the United States have created chaos in many countries, especially in the Middle East and Africa. My judgment may seem inaccurate or exaggerated, but we cannot deny today's reality. Look at Iraq, Libya, Syria, Afghanistan. Europe has been experiencing an unprecedented civilizational crisis for more than a century. This crisis is therefore not recent, but it continues to deepen, worsen, and demolish any reference to God, the only human means. The only political or diplomatic negotiations are powerless to achieve unity, to establish peace among men. I improved my relationship with God, and God improved and pacified the relationships among men and nations. Today, Western powers are promoting false rights, distorted rights, and all citizens of the world unfettered access and the power to self-determine regardless of their sexual identity. They want to change the culture to establish a sexually society. They claim to liberate humanity, so to speak, not only from God who created it, but also from man and woman, to free it from the father, the mother, the spouse, marriage, and the family. Thus, a new global culture will emerge, celebrating, in the name of the absolutized freedom of the individual, choices leading to the death of man and woman and the destruction of our humanity. These new rights are at two extremes: the right to die and the right not to be born. Between the two, are the right to genetic manipulation, the right to a child reduced to being merely a thing. But there is also the right to insult and to desecrate religions. By observing and analyzing our world and its desire for emancipation and autonomy from God, we clearly see that in the name of a perversion of freedom, now disoriented, we are faced with an unprecedented attempt in the history of humanity, that of destroying humanity itself, of destroying the natural capacity that man has, the capacity to love, and thus depriving humanity of an irreplaceable soul, strength, and love. What ruins man is his break. What harms man's true happiness is the confusion and imbalance of minds. It is the slavery of money. It is exploitation for commercial and selfish purposes, the secret dream that man carries in his heart. It is the ignorance of the true value of man. It is the forgetfulness of the essential purposes of society. What makes that we no longer even have the time to live or to love. We have killed God and are in the process of destroying man. The destruction of man's body through the irreversible destruction of his genetic integrity is the greatest tragedy in the history of humanity. We have reached the peak of the West's rebellion against God and against the human person. Never has the revolt against God experienced such horizontal expansion across the world. The spiritual crisis in Europe necessarily leads to a profound crisis and an anthropological destructive force from which humanity might not recover. The systematic destruction of the family is promoted in the name of democratic values that have been diverted from their original meaning. Under the guise of fighting discrimination, some want to erase the difference between sexes in marriage and promote family models in which conjugal love and the transmission of life become separable elements. But the clear analysis and vigorous warnings of Pope Benedict XVI remind us that European identity is manifested in marriage and family. And Europe would no longer be Europe if the family, this fundamental cell of the social organism, disappeared and was completely transformed. We are all unfortunately witnesses today to a violent assault and a threat of demolition against marriage and the family. In stark contrast to Benedict XV's, we now have homosexual individuals who paradoxically demand that their shared life be legally recognized to be more or less assimilated to marriage. This trend takes us out of the moral history of humanity as a whole, where despite all the varieties of legal matrimonial forms, marriage was always considered, in accordance with its essence, as the unique communion of a man and a woman open to children and thus constituting the family.
And that there are a lot more to come. Oh. A time will come we can never have children. Human beings will be turned to something else. See what this man said there. Some of them, when I heard them, my heart. They can turn you a human being to become an animal, and we've seen them happening in the even in yellow people's country, that they've asked people to have any right to become an animal, to become a stone, to become a tree. That all these things are systems these people have kept in place so that the world will keep coming. The more they make you a human being not to be able to, you understand, straight, the more they get the chance to control you. That what we are seeing happening in Africa is something that they have plotted. And we know currently what is happening in Africa. They are targeting Captain Ibrahim Traore, and that any leader that will rise up to fight them, they will do everything possible to bring that person down, because you are becoming a threat to their world, and that you will not believe the extent to which these people are going just to make this money, just to keep enriching themselves. Everybody must go to ground zero for them to be rich. I know this man is a religious man, but when people come out with certain truths that are beneficial to us, we need to share it. We have to educate our people. There are a lot of secrecy that these people are covering up. That when they finish, they now come in the name of coming to save you. Any country that these people go in the name of saving them, we know what the narrative always be at the end of the day. So this is the time for the African to also stand up. This is something that is so shocking, that when we sleep, eat, and nothing more, other people are not sleeping. They are there in the dark, plotting how to change you and I to become nothing for their own benefit. That they want to render humanity to ground zero just for their benefit, for them to keep getting everything that they want. And so for that matter, they will go to any length. And Africa, we know we are always the ones that these people will always use as a prey. We don't have to be scared. It is time for us to also stand up and fight. Death is once. Why should you allow somebody to use it to threaten you? Why can't we openly tell the truth to defend ourselves? You are afraid of dying, but you can never escape death. There are people who were in the position before you came, and today they are no more. Even the Pope himself is gone. It's the same way everybody will go. He hasn't gotten that position. He could have waited if he doesn't love his race till he gets that position before he will speak. But this man has decided to speak even before that. So it means that he doesn't care whether they give him the Pope or whatsoever. His people matters to him first. And that is what we are calling on every African to have this kind of spirit. My people first. What legacy are we leaving for our children? Is it still the same slavery? Or freedom and liberty? We are the only ones that can save ourselves. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we make Africa great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world. In Europe and in Rome.